Hello. So I decided to write my review on The Life You Save May Be Your Own. And this story talks about an older woman who's living on a farm with her disabled daughter, Lucy Nell. And one day this man comes to their farm offering to take care of it for just some place to stay and something to eat. And they come to an agreement that that's what they'll do. But there's different motivations going on. The older woman wants him to marry her daughter, and he wants to fix up the car that he sees in their backyard, and he eventually wants to take that and use that as his ticket out of town. So after a few weeks of working on the farm, he does marry Lucy Nell, and he tells her mother that they're going to go on a honeymoon. So they drive for a few hours, and he stops at a rest stop for some food, takes Lucy Nell in, orders her some food, but while they're preparing it, she falls asleep, and he leaves her there. And the story ends with him trying to outrun a storm on his way to Mobile. And this story has been, in my research, the story has been explained as also having some allegory, and the allegory being a sinner rejecting Christ, and basically Lucy Nell being that savior-like figure, and Mr. Shiflett being the unrepentant sinner. And this is also an interesting tidbit about this is it's also emphasized in just their clothing choices and the color imagery that's going on. He's always dressed in black and brown, and she's always in blues and whites, so showing her innocence and her purity, and showing his, depravity and such. So there's some interesting little aspects of that as well. But regarding how this relates to our classes and our reading of this week, there was some things on page 313 that I thought were interesting and connected to this writing. And the first thing is that good writers deal in information, and it contains specific information. And that's something that she does very well. She gives a lot of really great images in this story that evoke concrete pictures in your mind. So when you're reading the story, you can see it happening. She's very good with descriptions. Also, on page 314, they talk about how a writer is a person who must know something better than anyone else does, be it as little as his own goldfish or as much as himself. And I think she does that. I think she's writing something that is that she knows a lot about. A lot of her other stories are also similar with these religious themes and with sort of an allegory that's going along with it. They also close page 314 by saying that good writing always increases the amount of human knowledge available. And so this is a good picture of a nature of reality. Moving on to page 315, they talk about how accuracy occurs when proper weight is given through the metaphor of words within that reality, and then truth is reality in all its precision and fullness. And I see both of these things in this story. The actions of the characters are accurate to the reality that she has created, but there's also a deeper truth in the story through the allegory that she's also writing. And then finally, on page 316, it talks about the importance of people over recycled big ideas. And that was another aspect that I really enjoyed with her story, is that it was original. It wasn't something that you were expecting. You didn't see the end coming. And I just thought that was a good thing for us to close with as we look as Christian media makers at this work. There's a lot of things that we can apply from this work into our own works as we just learn from these things and try to take them on with us as we create our own things.